Hello, my name is Christy Ballew. I'm the Dean of Academics at Cathedral Catholic High School, and I'm primarily in charge of the curriculum here. Here are some details about our fantastic academic programming and how to sign your student up for the classes that will fulfill their needs and their passions. At Cathedral, we are truly rooted in our mission, our Catholic faith. Um, we hope that our graduates will be prepared to move on into the world and take those values and morals with them. Our community prayer truly hits on using their gifts to change the world around them, and we absolutely build that. We hope our academic programming fosters that for them. So when they leave us, they know that they're carrying our mission further into the world in every interaction they have. We like to focus on our four core values: faith, knowledge, character, and responsibility. And all of that is seen inside of our academic programming. We do offer a great deal of advanced courses. Our honors classes, we have about 40 of them, well, over 40, in all areas of our academic programming. We have 27 advanced placement classes, and we offer 6 dual enrollment classes in different subject areas. No student is going to take all of these. Obviously, we have way more than is possible to take at your time here at Cathedral. But we're hoping that what we do offer allows our students to challenge themselves in ways that are important for them to continue their growth. Now, I want to switch a little and talk to you about some areas where our students shine in relation to our academics. So, these are our academic teams. We have 5: Academic League, Mock Trial, Robotics, Science Olympiad, and Speech and Debate. There are courses that help to feed in and prepare our students to join these academic teams. For instance, speech communications, primarily a freshman elective, can be a great lead-in for speech and debate honors in their sophomore year and allow them to feel confident in joining the speech and debate team or even the mock trial team. You'll see our courses like Intro to STEAM and Intro to Programming help our students join the Science Olympiad team or the robotics team. Academic League is overall a knowledge game, right? So students who have a wide knowledge base or even a deep knowledge base in a particular area can compete with a whole team at the Academic League, and that's pretty exciting. Another place our students can shine would be with our student-produced media. El Sol is our literary and art magazine. You can see the fantastic artwork on the left side of the screen. Our students in Quill and Scroll and National English Honor Society will often be a part of the editorial staff of the El Sol, but any of our creative writing students or art students will submit their own original work to be published in El Sol, and that's pretty exciting. So Intro to Art would be a great class if a student is interested in exploring their art and submitting into the magazine. Creative writing is also a freshman elective and would be perfect for that as well. Then we have CCTV, which is our video production class. A great lead into this class would be filmmaking or Drama 1-2. It depends on if you want to be behind the camera or in front of it. And then we have Dawn's Press by LCID. This is our journalism program. It is a 4-year program. 9th graders can join it right away. And by the time they're seniors, they can be the editorial staff running the entire publication. A couple other things we want to highlight would be our pre-engineering distinction program. This is a course collection It's extremely rigorous, and it's a distinction that goes on the student's transcript when they go off to college. So this would be for our students who really want to major in engineering or STEAM. And they want to show their colleges that they've paid attention to this, that this is what they have delved into their time here. It is very important that if your student finds this as an interest, that they start right away. Intro to STEAM would be the class that they want to sign up for so that they can make sure to get all of the STEAM classes and science classes under their belt in order to achieve this by the time they are a senior. TEDx is a student produced show that highlights our fantastic speakers. We do believe that every student here has a unique and wonderful voice and perspective on the world, and we want to be able to give them a platform to use their interests to start changing the world. And if you've ever seen a TED Talk, which who hasn't, but you'll find that our students can compete on that stage beautifully. They are fantastic speakers. They're trained by a staff of student speakers who've already gone before, and our teacher moderator. And this is one of those events that is just one of the most inspirational ones that we have here. Now, I've talked a great deal about all these cool opportunities for our students, but I don't want you to think that they will not be supported during their time. As will often happen, students may need help. It's important that you help them to learn that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. This is something that needs to be reinforced at home. We say it here, but you know the drill. Teenagers, they're fun. So we need them to start going to see their teachers. We have a fantastic supportive teaching staff, and they are serving our students at all hours of the day. My goodness. And in the morning after school, we have teachers who give up their lunch. That's always, it's not normal, but they're there. They want to help your students achieve. So if you find that your student is struggling, send them to the teacher right away. If you feel that your student needs maybe a class that can reinforce some skills, you're afraid that their transition to high school may be a bit much, or they're challenging themselves a great deal. They have all these honors classes and they're going to be playing sports, and you're just worried about time management and other things. They can take a class like academic coaching, which will be a great foundation training ground for our ninth graders. We have a teacher in there who will go over executive functioning skills, organization skills, test taking, all things like that. It's great. We have students who will stay in the program all 4 years, just as a safe place where they have a teacher to oversee them and support them. Another place, if you have a SPED student, your student will likely be in Learning Center. This is very similar to academic coaching, but the student to teacher ratio is smaller so that our SPED students can have a 12 to 1 ratio in there, and a teacher who is dedicated to advocating for them and supporting them as they grow and challenge themselves as well. So both of those classes are wonderful places for students to really focus on themselves and what they need to do to become better and to thrive and to push. They all, any kid in there will take honors, AP, dual enrollment classes. They're fantastic, but it's just a nice place to have a space to work on oneself. We also have 16 honor societies that run some kind of tutoring outreach for students who might be struggling in a particular area. For instance, let's say Spanish is a little hard. Our Spanish Honor Society students will churn out some videos to support a student understanding the difference between ser and estar. So the students can watch it in their own time and get a little bit more of a smaller lesson when they're away from their Spanish teacher. In addition, our National Honor Society handles our largest peer-to-peer tutoring program. This is a great place for a big brother, big sister, little sister kind of a pairing. Our older students have already taken these classes, have already exceeded, have had these teachers. They know tips, tricks, and can often say things in a way that teenagers will understand a little bit better than maybe what an adult can explain. And in addition, our National English Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society run English and math centers at lunch. They run opposite each other, so a student can always seek help no matter what. And this is a great time for them to go in to work with a peer-to-peer tutor session. And then there is a teacher moderator in there, an English and math teacher, who can also be a next level of support. So now let's talk about placement. Placement really is a large puzzle. I am not looking for one piece of data to tell me who your child is. So the math and English placement exam is just one data point. I also review the transcript. I'm looking to see what courses they're taking, especially the titles. That helps me to know what kind of class they've taken, and their grades. I'm going to look at teacher recommendations. A little caveat there: if you're coming from a public school teacher is not required by the unions to fill out recommendations for private schools. We are a parochial school, but that would be the same. And so I may not have that data point if you're coming from a public school, but don't worry about it. I look at everything else. In addition, I'll be looking at the student preference form. It will not include math, and I'll explain that in a little bit. If need be, after I place a student, you and I determine that maybe those data points didn't show who your child was. We will have challenge tests in April and May that they can take to give me yet another data point, and hopefully that will give me a larger picture of who your child is. So now let's talk about math. You can see we have grade level, accelerated, advanced. I want you to look at the middle column. Knowing what math class your student is taking is going to help you move to the right-hand column and see what math class they will likely be placed in. We cannot skip a math class. We cannot move with a challenge test or good scores on a placement exam. We can't skip math. You have to take it, and you have to take those courses. They have to be on a transcript somewhere so that they are college eligible. So this is very important. We have opportunities for acceleration, for support. So if we find your student has some holes in algebra and really they should be moving on to geometry, we have bridge classes to support that movement. So there's ways to meet your needs if the data isn't telling us that they're going to be placed in the right class. I do not believe in accelerating algebra ever. Algebra is the basis of all math classes, and we need to make sure that those skills are as strong and as foundational as possible so that we can build safely upon that knowledge. So I will never suggest accelerating algebra. We have other ways to accelerate in different places, and we can always talk about that and make a 4-year plan that will make sense for your child without putting them at risk of challenges that they can't quite overcome later in their years here. So I want to be very careful with my math placement, because if I'm not, your child might suffer, and that would never be our goal. Let's talk about the course preference form. So I would like you as a family to sit together to go over the course preference form, use the curriculum guide and our academic policies as references, and really dig into what your student wants for themselves. What do they want for their future? I know that's a lot to ask a 13-year-old, but ask them what they're interested in. What classes do they really like? Where do they want to challenge and push themselves? And where do they need a little extra support? What passions do they have that they would like to chase here? Those kinds of questions will help you guide them towards the right classes. So, a normal ninth grade course list is going to include English, sorry, I should start with religion, English, math, science, world language, VAPA, and a space for an additional elective. So, let's focus on those four gold ones up there because I know it looks like they don't have a whole lot of choice, but these are our foundational classes in these areas that will allow them to learn necessary skills to be able to expand from there. Let's handle religion. We have lots of different religion classes to choose from after their freshman year that will help them expand and develop their faith life here, which we absolutely believe is pivotal for our students to learn. It is the foundation of who we are. We have taken some feedback from our students. We normally offer Catholic Faith 9 only. We're finding that some students maybe don't have a full enough background in the Catholic faith to take that class and feel confident in digging deeper into who we are as Catholics. So we have developed a class based on their feedback called Catholic Foundations. So if your student doesn't have as much of a connection to the Catholic faith, or they feel maybe they're just nervous about taking a class, they really want to know more and understand it at a different level, then Catholic Foundations is for them. If they're coming from a school where they have been studying the Catholic faith for a while and are really ready to take it to the next level, to dig deeper, Catholic Faith 9 is for them. In English, we're going to have our college prep English 1 and an English 1 honors. The difference there is really about the level of reading and writing that your student can do or wants to do, how much of a challenge they want to have. Taking those classes, it doesn't land you on a track after that first year. If they're taking a college prep English 1 class, they might do really well and realize they can go to English 2 honors from there. So we also like to support growth and movement within our schedule options. The math, again, I just put placement exam, but it really is a holistic approach into what class they're currently taking, their grade, the teacher recommendations, and the placement exam, if need be, the challenge test at the end of the year. Science, we're going to have two choices, biology and biology honors. If your student has a high interest in science and really strong reading and note-taking skills, biology honors will be a great choice for them. This allows us to train students in critical thinking in science. After that first year, they expand fully and can take so many different science classes. Every student's path may look different here. They can take anatomy honors, chemistry honors. We're going to eventually, beyond that, have AP offerings, physics. We have a bunch of STEAM classes. Your choices are unlimited over there, and it would be very exciting to see what your student does with that as they move beyond our foundational biology class. Let's talk a little bit about our world languages class. As you can see, there's a video of our American Sign Language students signing during Mass, which is a beautiful and inclusive way to see the language in action and as a part of our faith life here. And that is a wonderful thing that our world languages do. They combine language and culture and the Catholic faith. It's fantastic to see. We offer Mandarin, Chinese, French, Latin, and Spanish. I will be placing everyone in a level 1 language class. If you think your child has a background in a language that exceeds level 1, it will be time for you to take a challenge test. in April, May, and we can see which class is more appropriate for them. I don't want to rush them too far through their language program where they don't complete their graduation requirement, which is 2 years for a California state high school diploma. 3 years is best for college. 4 years makes you shine. Another way to shine would be for a student to take 2 languages. And there are lots of different ways we can do that. You might be accelerated, finish your 2 years of a third and a fourth language, and then start 1 and 2 levels in a different language. Some rare students have taken languages concurrently because they already have a strong background in one of them and they just want to continue learning a different language at the same time. So this is an area where a unique student can shine, can become trilingual or on the road to trilingual as they leave here. Another place that we allow our students to explore their passions would be in our VAPA program, Visual and Performing Arts. Without being a dedicated magnet school for VAPA students, we have so many offerings. It's almost like we are a VAPA magnet. Uh, I am amazed at what our artists do here. And I can see that they become stronger because of their art background in so many other ways. Their creative qualities, their problem solving, just the way they approach the world makes them stronger students everywhere else. And we're pretty proud of what we offer. So I'm going to run through some of our freshman electives. We require our students to take their VAPA graduation requirement their freshman year, because if they love it, if they are excited about it and they want to chase their passions, they have a full 4-year program to choose from. If we waited and let them take this whenever, there would be a lot less access for our VAPA students. So if you might be interested, your student is interested in any of these classes here, Intro to Visual Art is a class they should take their freshman year. So we have drawing and painting, sculpture, ceramics, graphic design, digital photography, jewelry. We have amazing AP classes here, and that doesn't even count our AP art history. So this is a huge program. We have students who will take all 4 years in this realm. So they started with Intro to Visual Art and they just continued to build on it. And they can hyper focus and follow the 3D pathway or the 2D, or they can bounce around and enjoy all these other classes that we have, many of them tied to careers in the future. And I think this is a lovely place to start for every student. If your student is a filmmaking student, then filmmaking will be where they love to spend their time. I do have a limited amount of spaces because I only have one film teacher and he is teaching all of those classes. But if they're interested in becoming the behind the scenes video production student in CCTV, then filmmaking is a great way to get in there. An alternative route, like I said before, for CCTV is to take drama 1, 2, so you can be an on-screen personality. But if you're looking to be the next filmmaker, to work in Hollywood or independent films, filmmaking is a great place to start. If you don't, if your student doesn't get into filmmaking, there is a chance sophomore year to take it. I give priority to sophomore students, and then I fill in the rest of the slots with our freshmen. This is tends to be a lottery class, not because I don't want to give students what they want, but we just don't have a whole lot of resource for that. Another class that is available to freshmen but is impacted because, again, I only have one teacher for this, would be Yearbook production. It is a 4-year program. A student could stay in it all 4 years. I do give priority to my older students and then fill in the spots with my ninth graders. This is a great way to use creativity and editorials and writing to build a whole book that tells the story of who we are. It's a fantastic class. You can join it later if you don't get in as a freshman. And it's amazing the work they put in. It's award winning. Every year we win an award. Drama 1-2 is another fantastic program. Miss Wilson does amazing things with our students. I have seen them grow year after year. Again, award winning. And if any of those classes on the right hand side, including college drama, seem exciting and lovely, then they'll want to take a drama 1-2 class. You can be involved in our drama programming, the plays and the musicals, without being in the class. But look at what those classes will offer our students. In fact, the students who have taken these classes often end up performing on Broadway, performing in Hollywood. They're directors, they're set designers, they're screenwriters. These are students who are actively in that world and doing an amazing job. We have so many music options. Our music director, Jess Swift, is fantastic. She has created so many different pathways for our students to be able to explore their music and to grow. We do place everyone in the 1-2 so that if they want to take it all 4 years, they won't run out of programming. This has nothing to do with their level of playing or how much experience they have. It's just making sure that they don't run out of courses to take. That would be horrific for us if we didn't offer them a 4-year program. So we have choral music, we have band, orchestra, music comp, and technology. This is a great place where if you've got a singer, get them into choral music. If we've got a trumpet player in band, strings, orchestra, let's say you play guitar and you want to be a singer-songwriter, music comp tech is what you're looking for. And look at all those other classes that come after those level 1 classes. It's fantastic. And your student will be cared for, will learn how to work with other musicians. Oftentimes we see some students will jump over from one area to another. They learn a whole new instrument. They try something new. They might take double music in their time here. It's fantastic to see what they can accomplish. Now, for that additional elective option, we have a whole other offering of great classes that they can take. So, I've mentioned creative writing and journalism. We have a combined semester course. So, one semester of mythology and one semester of speech, and that would create their year-long elective option. These are great for that English-minded student, those kids interested in our journalism, El Sol, speech and debate honors, mock trial programs. These are great courses for them to take. Next, if you're worried that they don't have a social science and your student really shines in social science, is very interested in history, I would highly suggest the world geography and ancient and early world history electives. It's each a semester. They're combined together to give the full year experience. That is a way to add social science into their schedule before they get into their required classes sophomore year. If your student is that science student ready to be in robotics and the pre-engineering program, Intro to STEAM and Intro to Programming would be great classes for them to start with. And then if you want your student to complete their PE requirements during the school day, we have multiple offerings for our freshman students. We have PE basketball, which is a great conditioning class if they want to be on the basketball team. Intro to Sports Performance, again, great conditioning for a variety of sports. So if they're looking to join the soccer team or a crew team or football, this is also a great class to really train their body and be prepared for tryouts and for their season. We also have core stretching, beginning weight training and walking for fitness. Our weight training program, we have 3 levels of that course, and it is pretty extensive what the students are training to do. And so if they're not going to play sports and gain their PE credit by participation in 4 seasons during their time here, or perhaps they are doing that and would also like to have a PE class during the year. PE classes would be the way that you're naturally going to gain that graduation requirement. But if you're playing a sport, you don't need to take the class. And if any of that's confusing, please just shoot me an email and I can explain it further and ask you a little bit more specific questions about your student, the type of athlete they are, or how they want to complete their graduation requirements in PE. Again, some great places to shine would be to double up in language or double up in our VAPA program. Let them explore all the creativity, and this will give them a little bit of an edge, a little bit more of a sparkle compared to others when they are applying to college. If you're going to have your student in Learning Center or academic coaching, this would be the class to go into that additional elective option. You may worry that they don't have access to all these other classes. I don't want you to fear that. There are ways to support our students in Learning Center and academic coaching so they can still chase their passions as well. And I know that from experience as a parent myself, so I can walk you through what those choices look like. Now, if you have any questions, if you have any wonderings, if you want to ask me for advice, please email at academics@cchsdons.com and I can support you with any of your needs. Thanks so much.